Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of HeyOcarina. Today we're going to be taking a look at the rose-colored gaming acrylic stand for the PlayStation TV. Now, for those of you who don't know, the PlayStation TV was basically Sony's attempt to try and, drum up sales for the PlayStation Vita. And essentially what they did was they consoleized the Vita. So, you take away the screen and the speakers and all that stuff, and essentially what this is just the guts of a normal PlayStation Vita with the addition of a HDMI output, an Ethernet port, a USB port, the memory card slot, obviously, because you need to have your ridiculously expensive proprietary memory for the PlayStation Vita, as well as the normal PlayStation Vita card slot for the Vita games. But the downside to this thing, at least, just aside from the obvious, lack of Vita games, there really isn't that much you can do with it stock. The big downside to this, though, is that in addition to not having many games, because the Vita just didn't get all that much, you actually can't play all of the PlayStation Vita games on this unless you mod it, which realistically, if you're picking one of these up today, I suspect that you probably are going to mod it. I'm actually looking to do that fairly soon. I modded my Vita recently, and it's really easy, so I'd actually recommend looking into getting an SD to Vita or something like that. But aside from that, the big flaw with it, at least in my opinion, is that they didn't have any rubber feet on it. And whenever you have a light thing like this, without rubber feet or rubber base or something, it's going to get moved around sort of a lot. Even just moving the cords would drag it along with it. And that's just not really ideal in a home theater setup. So basically what you've had is, other companies try and come up with solutions. So Sony themselves actually did make a stand for this, although it's pretty expensive now, at least, when I looked anyways it was. But any of the, first party Sony, branded stuff is usually going to be a little more expensive. So this solution here by Rose Colored Gaming actually goes for about $17 on their website. And it addresses the issue pretty well. I do have some issues with it that I'll talk about momentarily, but as far as, installation goes, you put it together, it comes in like a little package, and I'll show you on the bottom here. The acrylic that they use actually has this, I don't know what type of material it even is, but it's basically like it's attached with some sort of adhesive, and you have to take it off. I left it on the bottom just because I think it, I don't want to scratch up the bottom of the acrylic, plastic or whatever it is. But you'll have to take that off and then put it together. And the first thing I would like to say that's a flaw, and they may have addressed this in more recent, releases of this, but at least at the time I bought it, the parts that the Vita or the PlayStation TV actually sits in, they don't really stay together. They kind of move around, and they're really creaky as well. I'm not sure if it's picking that up on the microphone or not, but it's just weird because the back part where the cables are held in, it's a lot more stiff, but the part where the PlayStation TV sits in, they kind of move around a lot. So let me put it in here, so that way y'all can get an idea of what it looks like. And aesthetically, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it keeps it in place, which is the, the big thing that I really bought this for, just because it was getting annoying having to constantly, fumble with the cables and stuff. With this, the cables aren't, well, and that's the other thing, is if the cables have, tension to them, then they're going to flop the PlayStation TV around on its own. So this keeps everything in place pretty well. Aside from the, flaw of these not really sitting in place, the only other thing that I would like to, well, I don't know, it's probably down to personal preference, but I don't like the glossy finish. I know that people choose that because it looks good, assuming you dust it every 10 minutes, but that's the thing with this glossy plastic, it just doesn't hold up over time. So I would actually, if I could give constructive criticism, I would say maybe a matte black finish would be really cool, just because it would look a lot better, and you wouldn't have to be dusting it all the time. But realistically, I figure most people aren't going to complain about that. But aside from that, I think that it's a pretty good thing for $17, especially. You're able to get to your Vita card slot a lot easier than you could when it's on its side, which I don't really know why. I mean, obviously it's too small to have it in a different place, but I don't know. They made so many weird decisions with PlayStation TV. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. For $17, like I said, I would actually recommend this if you plan on picking up a PlayStation TV. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I've had some, I guess, updates, if you want to call them that, for the channel. I actually have a separate channel for the gameplay videos, as well as live streams, and the podcast. So I'll link to the new channels for those in the description. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.